Hello, guys. This is Professor Tubby,
This is Shadic and ZX here.
and we are here to discuss video games.
More importantly, and more specifically, we are discussing Super Paper Mario today.
For those of you that don't know, this is the Paper Mario game that came out for the Wii, and this is also the Paper Mario game that should not have come out at all.
Yeah, in some cases, that's very true. For the most part, the only thing I really didn't like this game is they put way too much work into the gameplay. I personally enjoyed the storyline and the character development, to be more specific, but they've done the whole 2D platformer so many times. I mean, it got old, like, really quickly.
Like, I honestly felt like I was playing a side-scrolling Mario game that had the option to go and do what Paper Mario already was.
Yeah, I mean, when this came out, I always thought that it was going to be RPG, because I enjoyed the RPG concept of the previous Paper Mario games, and then when I figured out it was just a platformer, I was like, wait, what? And it just sort of threw me off.
Yeah, like, whenever I watched the trailer for it, I saw the whole thing about them, like, moving in from 2D to 3D, and at first I thought it was just like you were already in 3D, but you could like go into like a completely different perspective, and I thought that would be cool, but then I realized that they completely took away your choice, and they made what was already the concept of you being a 2D character in a 3D world from the original game, and then making it into you being a 2D character that discovers the 3D world, and it just felt weird. Because the 3D world wasn't very sophisticated at all.
Yeah, and the whole switching from 2D to 3D thing, it got really annoying when you got farther and farther into the game. It's just like every time you turn 3D, you're like, oh my god, really? I'm progressing and you're going to make me do this? Really?
It felt like eventually it was just they needed they couldn't just let you walk through a door anymore. They were like, you have to walk in through a door, but then you also have to go into 3D and then find the key behind the plant or whatever, find the pipe there.
That you have to turn 3D in order to find.
Because it can't just have you walk around and look for yourself. You have to actually go into 3D. It seemed like a waste of effort. And when you get into 3D, the worlds don't even look that good.
They really don't.
I mean, like, the whole level design looked really good whenever you're playing it in 2D, but when you get to 3D, it just looks like they didn't know what to do.
Well, the gameplay was a very extreme downfall to this game, but myself, I sort of enjoyed, like, the character development in this game. Like, the characters in themselves were, like, really well developed, and they were actually really cool. More specifically speaking, Dementia was probably my favorite character in that game.
Yeah.
He made that game for me. I don't know about you, but I really liked Dementio. I liked his dialogue. I liked his powers. I liked everything about it. I liked his look. I loved everything about him. And him turning out to be the main villain was, like, really cool.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad that he was in the game, because if he hadn't been in the game, well, obviously they intended for him to, but if he hadn't been in the game, like, the story would not have worked. Like, not even just, like, even though that's obvious, because he was going to do everything, and
he was the plot twist, basically.
But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like if they had given him, like, a different mindset and a different type of character appeal, like, the game still wouldn't have worked. Like, if he had just been some guy. Just
True.
some standard side villain. Just an extra.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what made the game, was the story and the character development. And the game actually, even though the gameplay was terrible, it made you want to continue on and get to that next cutscene. Because that was the only thing worth doing in that game, was the storyline and the cutscenes.
For me, I thought they were trying a bit too hard with the cutscenes. Like, I mean, like, it's like they almost wanted to Metal Gear Solid it by putting so much emphasis on the story, which is fine, but I mean, this is a Mario game and it's an RPG game, and I love story in games, but I mean, when I think of a Mario game, and especially a Mario game like this, where for the most part it's all bright and happy, I just kind of want to get to the I want the gameplay to really get me, as well as the story.
But that's not the case in this game. It was mostly just the story. They focused more on the story than they did the actual gameplay. You can tell just by looking at it.
I feel like if it kind of reminds me of what's it called? The Sonic Storybook series. Like, they try to make that story really cool, but then the gameplay suffers because they spend too much time trying to think of a cool little gimmick they could put in the plot.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, for the most part, for me, it was just the gameplay that I disliked about it, and the constant switching from 2D to 3D, not 3D to 2D. I mean, I wish it was like that, but it's not. And the combat system was just sort of it was annoying.
Yeah, I feel like if there's one thing you shouldn't change in a game like this, especially after having 2 successful games that implement it, you should not change the combat system. I mean, whenever I first played through it, I tried to like it. Even when I saw the trailer, I thought, that could be interesting, but it never just
Jumped
out me.
Jumped out at you.
It felt like something that, it almost felt like they just forgot to put it in. And then it almost ruined the game for me.
Yeah, I mean, it really disappointed me, and for a while I actually thought they weren't going to make another Paper Mario, and I thought they were never going to use the RPG-based concept again, and I was just like, God damn it! I mean, that was the best thing about Paper Mario. Ugh. And looking back on it, wasn't the game pathetically easy? I mean, I'm not just like trying to boast and say that I'm like a fucking pro gamer, but I'm just saying that the game was easy and it took like no time at all to beat it.
The only part I could remember actually challenging me was the over there, and that was just because the level's so huge and it's like
you had to go up.
You had to. I think if I remember correctly, it was easy to fall.
Oh yeah,
all the time.
Easy fall.
That's the only part that actually got me frustrated about the game. Not even that there were enemies actually trying to kill you, just that you'd be this close to like getting on that ledge and then you'd just slip. That being said, the control system in the game is, like actually pretty much all Mario games, is spot on, I'd say.
Yeah, that's exactly.
The gameplay's not broken, it's just not really innovative. That's what I see about it.
And that whole stylish thing, it was kind of...
It didn't make sense in this game like it did in Thousand Year Door.
Well, yeah, because they were like, well, since it's a 2D platformer, we're just going to bring back a concept from the previous game and put it in this game, and it didn't work out too well.
Yeah, like, I think you had to, like, shake the Wiimote or something when you jumped on an enemy, and sometimes I would do that. Like, I'd be shaking it, and it wouldn't work, or I'd shake it and it'd work once and then like it wouldn't work anymore. It was kind
frustrating.
Of it was an unresponsive little feature that didn't really need to be in there.
Alright, what else do we want to talk about this game?
I will say one thing that made me laugh about the game. Every time I had to use a power-up, I always felt like I was masturbating. Because, like, they just...
You just shake the Wiimote.
It'd be like, shake the Wiimote like this, like, jerking it up and down. And I'm always, like, sitting down when I play. And so I felt like I was just, like, having at it. And I remember one time my mom walked in on me playing the game while I was using a power-up, and she, like, freaked out. And then she saw I was just shaking the Wiimote, and then she was... It was an awkward dinner that night.
Son.
What did mommy tell you about abstinence?
Do you want to talk about something?
No. Yeah, why does the Wiimote make me jack it off to use mushrooms and thunder?
It's like you're sitting there doing that and the Wii's just talking like, oh yeah. Yeah, you shake that Wiimote.
Mario's doing it.
Mario just has like this disturbed look on his face.
Oh yeah!
Just like,
This is what I call a 2D platformer.
I'm gonna turn this off now.
Oh, God. Well, looks like we've run out of things to say, which is good because we blew off 10.5 minutes. So, that's our thoughts of Super Paper Mario. If you feel like this video pertains to your opinions, then leave a comment, post a video response. If not, then that's just hard shit.
Alright, this is Shadic and Gogeta ZX.
And Professor Tubby.
Good night.